But, I mean, defensive rotations have got to be cleaned up from what we saw. Butler, statement win last week against UConn. They're looking to go 3-1 on the season.
Butler has been on fire past couple weeks. That is no lie. On the defensive here early, but not only big statement win against UConn last week, which is an extremely tough opponent, that one going 5 games, but a 3-0 against Marquette in week 2. Who was 15-1 last season, one of the stalwarts of EGFC Rocket League last year. But here we go. Already a strong opening coming out of the Bulldogs as we get Kai coming out with first blood.
Yep, nice little touch there. Just, no need to bury it in the back of the net. Just a nice little finesse shot. Kisses the crossbar. Crossbar challenge already succeeded 23 seconds into the game. St. John's, you know what? Passivity is not going to get you anywhere, especially with the way that Kai likes to slice and dice defenses.
Nick Lego trying to create some opportunities here for St. John's, but the clear, well, they just can't wrangle it in, can't convert into opportunities. And this is another opportunity for Kai, who misses on that one. Morales gets a weak touch as well. So St. John's avoiding disaster there through, well, no fault of their own. Primal, the captain, the one that you were saying needs to really step up here on the front line. And St. John trying to put together an offense. Taken to the sky, but there's just nobody to pass to. Loses control of it, and here comes Butler back on the offense.
Well, I mean, they're back in rotation, maybe trying to play a little bit too safe, but like I said, the passing ability and the blue-collar work ethic of this Butler University squad, they are not going to take no for an answer, and they'll just muscle it past you on the defensive front, so you cannot play a passive style against this Butler squad.
No, certainly not. Boss said, awkward touch. Quite go where they wanted. Primal is able to win out there. Pushes it forward. Lost Sand shot goes a little bit wide. At least first shot on the board there for St. John's. We're starting together a little offense, but here comes Kai again. There's that excellent passing you were talking about. From the sky, right back down to Kai in the middle. This was spectacular. Look at that, dropped out.
Yeah, just really gets the angle on it right. Isn't worried about too much contact coming in the air, especially, what we're seeing so far. A little bit of passivity coming out of St. John's. So I think right now for them to kind of turn this game around, 1 possession, 2, think about where they're going to be, not where they're at. I think that's a big thing that you see a lot of following and chasing the game rather than being proactive on the ball. We need to see what kind of intent they have behind these passes and touches.
You got to be able to anticipate. This game's just so fast. You got to be able to anticipate where the ball is going to go, what your opponent is attempting to do as well. Not only your own intent, but the intent of those on the other side of the pitch. Interesting fact is Butler won that game. A little bit of a loose ball here. It's kind of wrangled in. And kind of leads to the point I was about to make. It was Butler's defense that really shined against UConn last week. Butler won a 5-game set while only scoring 6 goals in the entirety of the 5 games. It was their defense that held on so strong, and that defense is what St. John faces here today. Butler have already reached half of that benchmark in, well, half of game 1, they said last week.
I mean, that's just a beautiful kiss there off the high aerial play. Yeah, I mean, we saw it. It was more about the physicality and controlling the tempo and the pace of the game. They definitely had their finger on the heartbeat of their series against UConn. The same thing against Marquette. If we look back at week number 2, Marquette really is where they kind of showed up and showed out and proved that, the game 1, they did go down, but they still got a lot of value out of that game, and they have definitely carried that forward here. Ended week number 4. We're almost at the midpoint of the season, Jeff, and they're starting to look like contenders for the Big East crown.
Important to note that this is a Big East matchup as well, so it carries a little bit of extra gravity to it. Sky trying to put in their 4th goal here in game 1. Already a hat trick here for the top-ranked player for Butler University. Primal trying to work it around, gets it away from Morales, pushes it into the corner for Lawson to try to continue with some pressure here, find an opening, a way to crack this incredible defense from Butler. Unfortunately, they are not. And here's a quick one in transition. Shot went high off the bar, nobody in the middle, so I think they were actually intending for that to go on net, but slightly off target. Still a good shot opportunity, and Butler continue to mount these opportunities as They're going to lose control of it momentarily. Primal with an opportunity. Good stuff there. Good defensive play from Butler on point.
Yep, 50 there in front of the almost attempted shot. I'm still liking what I'm seeing out of Butler right now. Butler have just really cleaned everything up from what we saw last week. I mean, last week was just a tour de force of how to play a defensive series of Rocket League and not allow the other team to play the game. And they're starting to do the same thing again. It's almost like they got a cheat code on for St. John's right now. They know exactly where the passers are going, where they're trying to rotate to, and they're just managing the game so well.
And it's that possession game, right? That's what Butler really excels at, and part of why their defense is so darn impressive. As we're going to get an opportunity here. Beautiful follow-up from Morales for goal number 4.
I mean, that's just fantastic. I mean, Kai knew that the trail was there. Part of every single score here so far in this series. 4.5 minutes gone. 3 goals and an assist to their name. So I tell you what, Butler really on cruise control right now.
And winning it in the opponent's third. It was just a beautiful play from Kai to kind of work around in that corner and create that opportunity. And then the excellent pass on point. Was looking for a double tap there, I believe. It got sent out. Possibly was hoping for some teammates to join in the corner. Either way, it's just more possession here for Butler as they wind down this clock. And we'll take a 4-0 win in Game 1 over the Red Storm.
I mean, Butler just on a march right now. I think that they've been battle tested. I think that they're upgraded. That they talked about Morales coming into the squad. Really was the linchpin for how they want to play this game now. Their nose is still to the grind, just as the same as we saw the previous 3 weeks. However, this looks like easy mode for them right now. St. John's just look a little bit discombobulated, and I think that the strength of schedule that we saw coming out for Butler in the beginning has definitely played into their favor as they have gone against those top tier opponents coming through. So I mean, Primal, was getting more touches on the ball. Definitely was doing more of what I expected them to come out the gate with. Just the second and third man for St. John's have just been, once the ball is in the offensive third, you don't have anybody trailing. You've got 2 people rotating back in defense, and there's nobody for that outlet pass or that, the garbage ball to come out to and try to get a shot on goal. So I think that that's the big thing right now, is that if St. John's want to make any kind of a series here, is that they got to be willing to take that risk. And that's something that we see the best teams do. They take the calculated risk. They know that they're going to have a person in rotation. So go ahead and double commit. See if you can get something out there. See if you can get some traffic in front of the goal. See if you can get yourself on the scoreboard.
Yeah, St. John's only 1 shot there in Game 1. They have already matched that here in the opening 5 seconds of Game number 2. Butler only allowed 14 shots in 4 games last week. That's less than 4 shots per game. I don't know what UConn shot total was for Game 5. They all left before I got a chance to get that number, but I know what it was through the first 4, and it was not very much, Billy.
It was not. It was not very much at all. And I mean, ball control. I mean, Kai's going to have a chance to really show off some of the more flashy parts of their game, because as I said, St. John's not the strongest of opponents. There's still parts of their game that they can really tighten up. I like this fact that we see Losto committing into the attack. So they're not necessarily just holding back and waiting for the action to come to them. They're trying to really insert themselves in the situations. Here we go. A little bit of touch, a little bit of pressure, loose ball in front.
Yeah, Munch is able to handle that one and push it out in the corner. Rotations for Butler are still very good. First goal is to get some possession and try to create some momentum. But getting around these tight rotations of Butler is going to be a different story altogether for St. John's. Morales going up, beating 1, but not able to quite beat Primal. Los Angeles going to clear that out of the dangerous spot directly in front of the net. Eventually, St. John's get it to the midfield line. Kai's going to flip back pass, go to Morales. They're not able to get the clear. St. John's doing a good job of staying in the zone for the moment. That's just enhanced with Primal's touch, but there's nobody really to follow up on it. And now this is going to be a long-distance double tap. Kai almost got it. Morales with the rebound. Will put it home, though. 2-0 Butler.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the touch here. 1, 2, looking for the tap. Doesn't get there, but Morales, once again, see, there's something that St. John's could take a little note from. Trail the play. You never know what's going to happen, what's going to squirt out in front of the goal. And, I mean, that's an easy barrier to the goal. 1-0. A minute and a half off the clock here for Butler.
Yeah, I don't know if I was seeing into the future or what, but let's give some credit to the St. John teams. That is only one, almost two. There comes Nick with the save. Then trying to put some pressure down. Nick just getting involved in this play. Getting a little perturbed here at this Butler squad. It is becoming more and more active as the minutes go, which is good for St. John's. Exactly what they need. Nick not afraid to get in the mix. Kind of gets bumped off of that ball, though, as Morales comes in, gets underneath one. Nick trying to chase him down. Morales loses control along the outside. Two remaining Butler players were sitting far in midfield, keep it in the red zone. Loose ball, Munch going to back pass Morales. Morales trying to put it on, but a good challenge from Primal is going to win that 50 and push it forward. Now it's a 3v2 in the back as Nick sends it to the outside.
Good ball.
Primal trying to center, but Munch able to read it, scoop it up, escort it back out to midfield, where Morales is going to try to set up something here. Has two people to beat, and took a little bit too much time trying to decide which way to go.
Oh, the play there from Morales was actually a smart play, allowing Kai to continue on the ball. I'm sorry, Munch to continue on the ball. But now St. John's back in offense, looking a little bit more dangerous, looking a little bit more cohesive as a unit. They might have a chance to score a goal. Nope, there is the clearance. Big boom coming through. They're back in defense on the hurry.
Morales and Kai speeding back to try to deny Nick Lego any opportunities. They will find the clear. No shots on goal right in front of the red net. Primal puts him back down. Ross is going to send it over. Put it in the net this time around. Now there's the 2-0. Turns out I am just, precognizant. That's all it is.
That's a pretty dirty goal going back against the run of play. Just a little dropper over the top from everybody. And that's the 2-0 lead. Minute 40 left on the clock here. And we're looking to see if St. John's can actually clear something and get a worthy shot on goal here, as they're really starting to amp the pressure up that I don't think that Butler was expecting out of them. There it is.
Yeah, that's a good opportunity. Munch able to get in front of it. Morales is going to take it to the skies and just escort it down. Kai tried to meet him up there. Perhaps a little bit of misdirection to try to draw some defense away. But St. John's they were not fooled. They were able to get in front of that ball and go back. Now it's a 2v1, 3v2 towards the opposite side of the goal. Guy looking to dump it back down to Munch, who was staying forward and playing very aggressively. Butler not satisfied with the 2-goal lead. They're looking to stack it on. Munch's shot was against the post on that one. Morales is in the middle, push it back in. Now going to try to chase on this ball, but doesn't have any boost. Cannot go to the air. We've lost Sant. Is the lone player up to escort it back into the wide half. Running out of time here at game number 2 for St. John's, as we're well below the 1-minute mark. Primal with the pass to Nick Lego, and finally St. John's able to break the seal. They get their first goal of the day.
I mean, to take a page out of the Butler book, that is a blue collar goal if I've ever seen one. Just complete domination in front of the net. And they just did not take no for an answer. I love to see that from them. Let's see if they can get an equalizer here in the next 35 seconds.
There was certainly some elbow grease on that play. Munch and Kai once again going up for the ball at the same time. Both players spending resources here. I mean, there's definitely some small errors from Butler that St. John's can capitalize on. Especially if they spend all their resources like that. It can open things up for St. John's to put on a good attack, particularly in transition. Nick Lego trying to push it outside. Counter on your screen as Los Angeles pushes into the wide half, but a big clear from Munch is going to diminish this opportunity. Morales will just knock this ball down. Butler take game 2, but this one was much, much closer.
Yeah, I mean, St. John's got way more physical. They were willing to commit that second person up into the attack. So they weren't necessarily playing that passive style that we saw them get kind of, owned in the first series or the first game of the series. So, yeah, it's a 2-0 score line in the game score. But, man, that was a much better approach to the game here from St. John's. I mean, 6 shots against 8, not bad, and only lost by 1 goal. So, yeah. That is way better out of St. John's. I'm liking what I'm seeing. They need to continue this positive momentum going forward. Getting themselves the goose egg off the scoreboard always helps the psyche as well. So keep going in with it. Keep going in with the axle grease or the elbow grease or whatever you need to get yourself in there and grinding in those corners. The physicality in front of the net is what got them their goal.
Yeah, I've got some stats for you here, Billy. 6 shots. That's more than Connecticut were able to put up in any of the 4 matches that I have records for, any of the 4 individual games. Also, that was more shots than St. John's were able to put up last week themselves in any of their games against Xavier, at least that I have record of. So, a really good performance from Game 2 out of St. John's. They were very close on that one. Still need to somehow find another level of excellence, though, if they want to take Game 3.
Oh, there you go.
We might be witnessing it.
Yeah, they've completely thrown caution to the wind here and have decided that they're going to go triple commit into the offensive third, and look at that. Primal gets that nice loose ball above from the whiff out of Butler, and they buried it in the back of the net. 16 seconds off the clock, and they're already ahead 1-0.
And we get that fantastic jigsaw goal explosion. Yeah, a bit of a misplay from Morales on the defense, and St. John's there to capitalize. Kind of looking to strike back here in the corner. Let's see, Morales was way deep, had to go all the way back to the own corner to pick up some boost, and it's opened up a lot of playing room here for St. John's to push forward. Morales kind of muscles it past Primal there. Kai's able to snag it out of the sky. Off track for the double tap, and it's just going to bounce harmlessly back into midfield. Lost in. Clever little move, able to get underneath Munch, but Morales there for a bit of backup on the defensive end, allows Butler to get back into the red zone. Lost in, gets a touch along the wall, bounces out to Morales. Morales with a great angle is going to tie up this game.
Yeah, but that was misplayed on the goal line. That, I mean, you know, you're going to take that every single time. It's your equalizer, but definitely not well played on the line there. I mean, the 3 Red Storm players there on the goal line or in the net, and nobody was able to get up and get a touch to the ball. So there's the equalizer, a little under a minute off the clock here. Man, this could be going back and forth. Nice demo there from Nickel in the corner. That's what you want to see as this physicality starting to build up.
Morales, pass, nudge for the goal. And Butler with 2 quick strikes back are able to take the lead. Didn't take long, and they are up 2-1.
Yep, and just went back against the run of play. And I mean, that's a beautiful way to go near post and just completely psych the defense out there. So Butler maybe playing a little bit more conservatively there in the beginning of this series, but now they've decided to go ahead and go full bore, and St. John's are going to have a storm to weather here. Let's see if the Red Storm have an answer.
Primal trying to go for the sky. Morales able to beat both players on that one. Kai, scream it down. It's a race. Primal is going to beat Kai to the goal, but there's another pass, a brilliant pass from the outside. God, the awareness and the anticipation on that. That was a brilliant touch. Shame for Bulldog fans that they weren't able to follow up on that one, but opportunities are still here as they continue to machine gun this net. Good stuff, and St. John's pressing forward. They're getting aggressive on this ball. Primal has Nick Lego in the middle. Kai decides to go up and intercept that pass. Morales with a brilliant touch, gets around 2. Kind of lost sight of it there in the end after bouncing it off the wall, but it still created this opening. Guy off the near pose is going to bounce out. Munch is trying to speed back in, but Los Angeles too close to the ball. Munch committed to that and has left a bit of an opening on the defense. Los Angeles perhaps got a little anxious on that, knowing they had an advantage, and just put up a kind of a lackluster shot that was easily turned away.
I like the shovel pass into the opposite corner, though, because it pulls the resources out of Butler, and you're zooming and screaming towards that mega boost in the corner. So not necessarily a bad play, just a little bit better on the execution. I think they get more joy out of that.
We go with the aerial challenge. Morales kind of loses sight of it. Kai screams in. I mean, there's nobody in the middle. St. John finds the easy clear. Good follow-up as Primal's able to win the 50, push it all the way back down. Nick Lego's going to get the touch on that ball, bounce it outside, lost sand, gets just a piece of it, needs to pass this ball center, floating in the air. Primal's going to touch it, try to bounce it off the wall. Morales screams across, able to push it out into the corner, allow for a brief reset from this defense, and now Butler are moving ahead. Morales, a wonderful 50, knocks it up. Kai is going to try to center it back for Morales. Morales knew they didn't have a chance on that ball and just kind of waits for the touch. It was actually Munch that pulled up to get that final touch. 90 seconds left on the clock. St. John's looking stronger and stronger. They're going to have to turn up one more notch, Billy. They need one more goal, and they're running out of time. Oh, they need 2 more goals. This time it's Kai off the wall. Another assist. Chooses to just roll it over Primal. As opposed to trying to bounce past it off the wall and back out, just rolls it up over the top. All right. Minute 10 left on the clock. Primal moving downfield. I think I may have lost Billy here, trying to decide which end our tech issue is on, but I'm just going to keep going.
It's on my end, unfortunately.
Well, St. John's pushing it down. Take your time, get the audio issues worked out. It happens. It happens. Meanwhile, we've got Butler pushing in and looking for goal number 4. See if they can close out this series. Currently up 3-1. Munch charging in. Follow-up shot from Kai is good. And the Bulldogs on track to win their 3rd series in a row.
Yep, keep on going. I don't have a screen as of yet, Jeff, so it'll be just a second.
Yep, no problem.
Aha.
Much better showing from St. John's here. In the early part of Game 3, but man, Butler really just came back with a vengeance and have taken control. St. John's have struggled to find any possession in the back half of this game. Lost in Primal. Nice little duo coming up. Morales comes in from behind, pushes up against the wall. Everybody from St. John's. Well, excuse me, there was only one player. I thought it was 2 from St. John's. No, it was just Primal that had committed to that. The rest were sitting back on midfield line and just not enough pressure to keep it going. Ball is in front of the Butler net here in the waning seconds of this game, and Los Angeles will find a garbage goal in front of it. Perhaps a little hopium they can take into week 5, but for now, this is still going to be a Butler dub.
That's still a nice little bounce shot into the back of the goal, though. I mean, nice skill to get it in 4 seconds. It takes a little bit of the sting away from the 3-0 loss here, but still, better showing this week from St. John's. I'm definitely impressed with what I've seen here. They've started to kind of figure out a little bit more identity for themselves, you know, not being afraid of going into challenges, not afraid of committing a second person into the attack. As long as you've got somebody trailing and your rotations are clean, you're going to be just fine putting that second person in there. And they found joy quite a few times. So, man, Butler though, this is 3 on the trot for them,
yep.
And I love what I'm seeing out of them. I mean, once again, this is a very comprehensive win for them. So, not any kind of real surprises here out of Butler. Bigger surprise is that they got more shots taken on them than Connecticut did. So, right. I mean, maybe they were taking it a little bit easier. We'll find out if we have a chance to get an interview with one of these players, because that is something that I would like to ask them when that comes up, Jeff. But, I mean, this was a fantastic series for Butler. It's a good win. It's carrying momentum moving on as we hit the midpoint of the season next week. This is definitely shaping up to be a very good fall season for Butler.
Yeah, and that's after they went dead even, just right at 500 for the entirety of the 21 to 22 season. To come out so strong against, traditionally very tough opponents, this is a good sign, and Butler can shoot to the top of the Big East. It's been a heck of a showing them here in the opening 4 weeks. But we are going to get that interview. We're going to have Munch joining us, have a little chat about this game we just saw. Give us a minute to get that set up. We'll see you on the other side of a break. We are here with an interview with Munch. Thank you for taking the time to come chat with us. Congrats on your victory.
Thank you.
So we talked to Kai last week and heard about how you've got a new facility there, kind of upped your amount of scrim blocks and really turning the dial up coming into this 4th season at EGFC. How has this helped you personally? It looks like the team looks just on another level compared to what we had seen previously. What effect did all these things have on you as an individual player?
Yeah, I mean, the facility itself, it's just allowed us to get a lot more time in with scrims, and you mentioned getting more time blocks, which we have been able to do. It's just helped us also with something just like team chemistry, being able to be in person more often and playing scrims. I think that person-person interaction is definitely huge for us, and I think the facility has just given us a lot of opportunity to, grow as a team.
I think it's amazing. It's definitely shown. I mean, we could see it from our end for sure.
I mean, looking at you guys this week, you guys have really, it seemed almost easy, and I don't want to, not take anything away from St. John's, but it looked like you guys were on cruise control from, the get-go. You guys had a pretty brutal gauntlet your first 3 games of the season here. Was this a game that you guys knew that you could take a little bit of an easier path on, or did you guys take it the same way you take every game?
I mean, I feel like the best approach is just to take every game like the same way and to not underestimate anyone, just because previous experience of underestimating people, like you can get caught off guard and then you're kind of in a scramble mid-series. So definitely taking every series, every game, or every match that we have every week, just same approach, same mentality, and I think that's gonna allow us to have the most success.
I think that's fantastic. What kind of expectations do you have for the squad this year with the improvements?
Yeah, I feel like we've definitely improved a lot overall as a team, especially from just where we started at the beginning of the semester. I think expectations are pretty high, and I know we all want to do really well. And I would like to say to not drop a series for rest of the semester and to the future, but obviously that's a huge challenge. And that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to challenge ourselves individually and as a team, just to be the best that we can.
Right. Go ahead, Jeff.
Oh no, it was just a follow-up. I mean, you're in the conference, you're in the Big East with Connecticut and Seton Hall and some of these bigger names. Does anybody worry you, or is there anybody that you're anxious to play?
I wouldn't say anxious. I kind of just look at all these matches, especially some of the harder matches, as just an opportunity. Definitely, like, win or loss, like a win is always huge, especially against a big team.
You bet.
But even with a loss, there's just a lot to take away from it and to get better. So.
Yeah, looking at week number 5, so looking to next week, you guys are going to go up against Southern Utah University. They've had some mixed results. What are you going to do to prepare for them? Are you just going to focus on your own game? You're going to go in and look at some of the VODs that are going up on EGF. How do you guys prepare for your upcoming week?
Sometimes we'll look at replays whenever we have the time or chance to, previous matches. And usually, we've been trying to get at least, scrim in like over the weekend or towards the end of the week. But yeah, scrims and replay reviews when we can, I think, is our way of kind of preparing each week. And I think it's paid off pretty well.
Yeah. Well, hey, we really appreciate you taking the time coming in, a little bit of an extended interview here. Let us pick your brain a bit. Any shout-outs that you'd like to give before we let you go?
Shout out my teammates, Kai and Morales. And shout out to my mom and my dad back home. Got Kai right here. And shout out Astro in chat, former teammate.
Wait. It's Morales?
Morales, yeah.
I've been saying Morales, or
Morales. I
was saying it like Spider-Man, like that's how. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a terrible interviewer.
Those are all the shoutouts. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, hey, congrats on the win, man, and good luck in the upcoming weeks.
Thank you.
Oh, bad caster. Bad
right, Jeff.
Sorry.
Bad skunk.
I know. All right. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna get set up and see if I can get this red blush out of my face here from that slight embarrassing moment. What do we got coming up next? Let's see. We got William and Mary taking on RIT when we return. More EGFC.